With two independents caucusing with the Democrats, Republicans are clinging to a 3-seat majority. So if the Democrats win at least 4 seats or 3 seats plus the White House, they'll retake the Senate. The map shows Senate Republicans defending 23 states, Democrats 12. The best pickup chance for the GOP is in Alabama. Democrat Doug Jones is trying to survive in a deep red state. He's facing former Auburn University football coach Tom Tuberville. In Colorado, Democrats are on offense. The seat is held by Republican Cory Gardner. Polls show challenger, former Governor John Hickenlooper, with a slight edge.
I cross party lines to get things done.
Hickenlooper knows now's the time for action, not vacation.
In Arizona, polls show the Democrat Mark Kelly leading incumbent Senator Martha McSally.
It becomes pretty obvious pretty early when you get into space that we're all kind of in this together.
Kelly, husband of former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, is a former astronaut and gun control activist.
He's already said he'll raise taxes.
In North Carolina, Republican Thom Tillis is taking aim at his challenger. In the last several elections, the state has gone from solidly red to light blue. Challenger Cal Cunningham is polling even with Tillis.
Would put money in the hands of working people and parents as they raise children.
Veteran Senator Susan Collins is facing what may be her toughest re-election battle in Maine.
Susan Collins has been named the most bipartisan U.S. Senator.
Democrat Sarah Gudin is trying to hang around Collins' neck votes to confirm Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh and to acquit President Trump during his impeachment. In South Carolina, Lindsey Graham is facing challenger Jamie Harrison, a younger candidate raising a boatload of money. The race is considered a toss-up. Elsewhere, the Democrats seem to be in striking distance in Iowa, Georgia, and Montana. With Joe Biden maintaining a lead over President Trump in national polls, both parties say the fate of some Republican senators could be tied to the top of the ticket. If there is a blue wave this fall, a state like Montana could be in play. The contest there is between GOP Senator Steve Daines and former governor and presidential hopeful Steve Bullock. And then there's one leaning Republican contest to watch. In Kentucky, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is facing Amy McGrath, who is making a pitch to the state's independent voters. But a McGrath victory would be an upset of historic proportions. This week, McConnell laid out the stakes of the election.
But the American people have a choice to make. Who do they want to run the Senate? Do they want to enable the Democrats to run roughshod over the country by changing the basic structure here?
That's the national picture. Here in Illinois, Senator Dick Durbin is favored to keep his seat. He's facing Republican Mark Curran, Independent Willie Wilson, as well as Green and Libertarian candidates.